with respect to the war, we can stop the war yesterday. It doesn't take any votes to do that. It takes the democratic leadership to actually stand for the power that they currently hold and say, we're not going to put another bill onto the floor to be voted upon. We are simply just going to go to the President and say, Mr. President, you have $30 billion in the pipeline. It'll take 5 to 10 to bring all the troops home and the equipment home. This is what you do, otherwise you will be impeached. Now, we have an appropriations bill which is going to be coming up again in a not too distant future, where this is the thing. Now, we have 20 co-sponsors on House Res 333. And that's something which is very, very important. But it really is up to people within their own districts to talk to their congressional leaders and say, look, this is, what are you doing, shredding our Constitution?
May I say this? May I say this, please? We have them.
Yeah.
Every representative in the 6 New England states has been contacted numerous times, in person, email, letters to the editor, etc., etc. We keep running up against absolute roadblocks. What you're saying is absolutely correct, but it's not happening. One of the suggestions has been that there may be 2 reasons why Dennis's resolution is not getting co-sponsors and support. One, that he's a presidential candidate. And representatives feel that, it seems like representatives feel if they sign on to this resolution, that it will indicate they're supporting Dennis.
Well that's rubbish because I want to get this one out first.
Okay.
Dennis is a member of Congress first and foremost. The presidential campaign is aside from that. The House Resolution 333 was entered without even a presidential campaign knowing that it was being written, for the fact that we wanted to keep this so much within the bounds of the congressional, obligations. But you see, if co-sponsors, we've got 77 co-sponsors on 676 for universal single-payer, not-for-profit healthcare. We have 60-something co-sponsors on Department of Peace and Non-Violence legislation, 808. So don't get taken in by those kinds of things where it's, well, we can't sign on because it looks like we're endorsing Dennis's candidacy. No, you're a member of Congress and you took an oath of office to uphold the Constitution just as the President did. And this is what you've got to do. Now, what the movement really has to do is to show their political weight, that when they become a political threat, then they will be taken seriously. If the impeachment way or any issue is something that people feel so strongly about and can mobilize around, it could be impeachment, it could be war and peace, it could be healthcare, it could be anything, but none of these issues will win until the movement behind them becomes threatening to the establishment which is already there. So when we actually say, well, it looks like your seat really is under threat unless you vote this way or unless you sign your name on this way, then movements find it very, very difficult to actually gain traction. We see within the presidential debate as well, taking it again outside of impeachment, when we look at the issue of war and peace, when people don't openly declare their support for a candidate who stands for something and are not visible politically, then you can't ever expect for the other candidates who are getting their endorsements to ever change their positions. So again, it's when the campaign becomes politically threatening, where it looks like you're actually creating a movement for democracy, that we can really, then things change.
He wants to take you before the rain. Our point is, and I've done this before in court, if we have one simple point to get that everybody can agree has been impeachable, we'll get the door open for our very simple. Of course, we know he's totally corrupt.
Just as a question to you, have you come to meet anyone within Congress who've said, we're not going to sign on because we don't agree with that line there and that line?
Yes. Yes.
Who was that?
That was one of the objections of Tom Allen.
And what was it that he was objecting to?
He was objecting to the Cheney section.
The what section?
The one on Cheney threatening to attack Iran. Now, I know it's a violation of the UN treaty,
which is
but still,
which is a treaty and
yeah, no,
part
but-
therefore of the Constitution.
I have to tell you that all the arguments that you've just presented are absolutely valid. They're arguments that we have presented also, and they're immovable. So we have to find a new way, a modified way to move impeachment forward. We just cannot stick. Dennis has been stuck at 20 co-sponsors for a month.
That's because we had a whole month out where nobody was in.
No, that's not right.
It's
That's
because
not
there's
right.
corruption in the
I
Congress.
mean,
Yeah.
there's
Corruption and
in the
collusion.
Congress, but I mean, people have to really understand the politics of what's going on, and they have to understand as well that it's politically advantageous to the opposition parties to have Bush and Cheney in the White House until the election, for political reasons, because, just to highlight just how
understand
bad
that.
that is.
We do
But,
understand that.
yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, there's only so far that one man can really take something. When we really can sum it up and see that this movement, we know this movement is immense. This is why we stand for the Constitution, and we stand for this within the depths of our hearts because we believe it. We know it's true.
Absolutely. However,
Give us
if
3
we
minutes.
align ourselves, we've got people within this coalition that are 9/11 truthers, that are the co-thinkers, that are the folks that are involved with the environment. All of these people, they are very much wanting to come in with us like an umbrella because we have the big G's. We have, the impeachment, to be able to say this investigation must begin. It must come from the people. Now, there's a very interesting group of people that have started to work from the people, not from the rules and regs of the government. And it's called ACEnortheast.org. All right? They have what's called Democracy School, and it teaches citizens how to bring it, what you're saying, that we have to do. We're trying. People don't understand that they have the power to do this. They have the power to bring this into the judiciary and say, we must have this. This is coming from the public. We are not going through the rules and regulations of being top-down. We're going the opposite way, grassroots up, and bringing impeachment across the table to all of these focus groups, if you want to call them, but whether it's the environment or a 9/11 truth or whatever, we're all saying we must bring impeachment from the people. We can't have it anymore because we know how corrupt it is, with Pelosi getting money from Lockheed Martin, with everyone else.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Elizabeth
when we really.
has an interview that she has to go.
That's what I'm saying.
Sorry,
When we really can work out how we can reclaim the people's government and the people's democracy.
That's right.
That's when it happens.
That's
and
exactly
we are doing everything we can in partnership with you and the Constitution.